Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training and I'm going to show you today some different 1-4 press break basketball plays that you can run against a full court man-to-man defense. Now, let's get down to the clipboard and let's check these out. But first, really quickly, go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Defense book as well as the 4-1 zone. Links are in the description below. I know you're going to absolutely love them. Let's get down to the clipboard. Let's check out these plays. Okay, so in this first play, I'm going to show you we have the 1-4. And basically what we're going to start with is player 5 setting a screen out for player 1 and player 4 setting a screen out for player 2. Both of these players are going to be cutting down their side of the key. Now, whoever gets open, next what's going to happen, let's say player 2 is open. We're going to get the ball to player 2. We're going to be having both player 5 and 4 leaking out to the other end of the court, the far end of the court. If one of those players are open, we need to hit them up with a pass. That's going to be most likely a fast break opportunity. If neither of those players are open and we have both of them covered, next, what I want to see happen is player 1 setting a screen down for player 3. Player 2 has not dribbled the ball just yet. Player 3 is going to be cutting down the middle of the court. If he is open, definitely hit him up. We now have a 3-on-2 that we're coming down on. If he is not open, let's say player 3 was covering him tightly, he's going to be coming down towards the court and out to the opposite side. We're now going to be having one of two options. If player 2 is a really good ball handler, he can try and break player 2 himself and get down to the other end of the court. If not, what I want to see happen is either a dribble handoff between players 1 and 2, player 1 getting the ball and he can take it down the court, or what we can have set up is for player 2 to stay with the ball and player 1 can now set a screen up for player 2 and player 2 will then take the ball down the court himself. Either way, 1 or 2 is going to be dribbling the ball down the court, or we may have had player 3 up the middle or players 4 and 5 all alone for the big long touchdown pass. Now, in this next 1-4 press break, again, against a man-to-man defense, we're going to have player 2. He's going to be setting a screen for player 1, and player 1 is going to be cutting down the middle of the key. Meanwhile, we're going to be having player 4 getting screened by player 5. Player 5 is going to be setting that screen. Player 4 is going to be cutting up the middle. Now, player 3 has an option. He can bang the ball down to player 4, or he can get the ball to player 1, who can then turn really quickly and look down court to see if player 4 is open. If player 4 is open, he needs to get that ball to player 4. Whether it be player 3 or player 1, player 4 needs to get that ball. Next, what's going to happen, if player 4 is not open and player 1 gets that ball, player 4 needs to get down to the other end of the court. Player 5 is going to move to half court. We're now going to be having by this time, player 1 is going to be covered. We're going to be having player 2 setting a screen down for player 3, who's going to be using that screen, and player 3 should be open to be able to dribble the ball down the court and get the ball past half. If he is not open, let's say player 3 got past that screen, we now need to get player 1, if he's able to take his man one-on-one, 100% give it to him, let him do it. If not, player 2 is going to set a screen for player 1, and player 1 is going to be then dribbling the ball down the court. Player 2 is then going to be rolling off of that screen in case his man decides to switch, in which case then we can just pass to player 2, and player 2 can dribble the ball down the court. Now, these are all really great plays, but there is one more 1-4 press break that you can actually use. This one we used way back, I think it was grade 10. And we got the game-winning basket with like 2 seconds left on the clock. This was a fantastic play, and I need to share it with you today because I know it's going to help you someday in the future. So let's get back down to the clipboard and let's check out this amazing press break. So in this first movements, we're going to be having all 4 players. They're going to be sprinting down towards the baseline. What's going to happen here? Our main goal is to get player 2 or player 1 the ball. If player 1 or player 2 get the ball, what's going to happen now is we're going to be having player 5 setting a screen for player 3. I do not want player 5 to get the ball unless it's the last only chance for us to get the ball in bounds. Player 5's job is to get player 3 a screen, and player 3 is going to be the one cutting down court. Player 1 needs to now not dribble at all. He needs to get that ball. Player 4 is also another option, and player 2 is another option to get that ball. They're not going to be dribbling. What I want them to do is to look down court for player 3. Bang the ball down to player 3, and we're going to have an open layup. This works. This worked for us when I was a player, and it's worked for me a few times as a coach, and I know it's going to help you. This is a very basic play, and I know it's going to help you a ton. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, let us know in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you guys again later on today for the second video of the day.